Hi, church. Today I just want to focus on part of one verse from Psalm chapter 30. Verse 5 says, "Weeping may last for the night, but a shout of joy comes in the morning." And I think that verse has two truths that are helpful for us in this particular time in our history. One is that weeping may last. And we have to remember that the Psalms were a book of poetry. So weeping may last for the night is not a promise that in one night the weeping will be over. It's this idea that there are seasons where we are weeping. And then it goes on to say, but a shout of joy comes in the morning. And again, that is not a promise that one night of weeping results in a shout of joy in the morning. But it is a promise of hope. It is a promise that the weeping won't last forever, that one day there will be a shout of joy. And that's something I think that's really important for us to focus on the hope that we have as children of God, that one day a shout of joy will come. Now, even in the midst of our weeping, I believe that we can find moments of joy as we reflect on who God is, as we reflect on our salvation, as we reflect on His presence with us, as we reflect on the many good gifts that He has given us. I think we have a reason for joy even in the midst of the weeping. But I think it's also a kind of a release for us to know that sometimes weeping lasts. Sometimes there are periods of time where we feel like we're just sad inside. We are empty inside, where we feel maybe even depression. And that God's word recognizes those times, that there are times when weeping may last for a season, but we hold on to the fact that a shout of joy will come in the morning. It might not be tomorrow morning, it might not be the next morning, but there will come a time for that shout of joy when the weeping will be finished and the joy will be what takes over. So I would encourage you today, if you are feeling like you are in this dark night of weeping and you are unable to find those moments of joy, I would encourage you to talk to somebody, to talk to whoever you're close to send me an email, to send one of the pastors at church an email, to talk to your doctor, but to express to somebody the darkness of the night that you are experiencing. And I would encourage you, if you are not in that time right now, to look at those around you, to see who you might need to remind of the hope we have that joy comes in the morning. It's our job as believers to look out for one another. I think that's part of the joy that God has put us in a family. It's also our job to remind one another that sometimes there is weeping, and that's okay. It's okay to feel those emotions. God understands them, but He holds out the hope that joy comes in the morning.